Hello and welcome to Wingin It. And we are back again here with another tournament game, this one from the Zany Zebrafinch Zoo. We're in the second round of the knockouts here, and we're jumping forward a bit. This is into game 3. This will be a post-commentated game, already played games 1 and 2 of course before this. And since we're here in game 3, it means we won 1 and lost 1. Those weren't particularly interesting games, but I think this one here was. So I wanted to get this one featured in a video for you. So yeah, we're going to jump in here. We're going first in this deciding game 3. A win is going to send us through. A loss knocks us out. So we'll see what we've got here in our starting hand. And you'll probably see why I picked this one for video. We've got Pileated Woodpecker in the starting hand and Eurasian Nuthatch. So the start of potentially a very, very good forest, and to go with it, Nestbox Builder bonus card, so really, really good combo. Clearly good synergy there, I think, with the Pileated Woodpecker. Obviously that brown power. Potentially getting 2 eggs, but only in the cavity nest. So, as I say, clear synergy. I'm going to be wanting to get hold of some more cavity nests anyway to be able to fill up with the Pileated Woodpecker. So having that bonus card there is a very straightforward keep. And yeah, Ready Duck as well. Kind of goes without saying. If you've had any experience playing Wingspan, you know how good these kind of birds are, particularly getting them down early in your wetlands. Start drawing some cards, and yeah, with the forest that we're going to get set up here with the woodpecker and the nuthatch, we're going to be able to get all the food in the world to be able to play those birds. So yeah, this will be an interesting game for me, I think. Pileated Woodpecker is not a bird I've played too much with on the Oceania mats, of course. Plenty of experience on the baseboards, but yeah, just with the general shift in the resources on the board, and obviously grasslands being a little bit weaker here, so eggs being a bit harder to get hold of. Potentially this Pileated Woodpecker getting hold of 2 eggs every time you gain food is very, very strong. The big caveat, of course, being that you're giving eggs to your opponent as well. So as I say, not too much experience with this bird on the Oceania boards, so I was definitely interested to see how this would behave. Yeah, how good is it getting 2 eggs a turn in your forest, and how much of a drawback is it having to give 1 egg away to your opponent as well? Because if eggs are hard to get hold of for you, they're probably hard to get hold of for your opponent as well. So potentially some early game tempo gains, I think, for your opponent here if you're going to be giving them 3 eggs. But yeah, if I'm going to be able to get 2, of course, with this nuthatch as well, got a little bit more space to work with, but not loads. So Pileated Woodpecker only got a couple of egg spaces in itself. Definitely, as I say, the priority with this next box builder as well is going to be doing that digging, use the Ruddy Duck, try and find some more cavity nest birds, and hopefully get more space to fill up. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this woodpecker down straight away, of course, going first. Definitely want to rush that down, definitely want to be able to use that, and it's going to be interesting to see how my opponent reacts to this. So they did keep 4 birds, I saw, so maybe quite a good starting hand for them. But I think whenever you're in this position and you see Pileated Woodpecker go down, you are in a panic. You're rushing to try and get your cavity nest bird down. So I'm sure if they've got one, they're going to want to play that because they know being able to capture those 3 eggs is going to be key. Unfortunately, they do not seem to have one, or at least they're not able to play one straight away. So whilst the snipe goes down, no brainer here for me. Go and grab some food. And yeah, Pileated Woodpecker, of course, have to lay eggs on 2 different birds. So for now, I'm only going to get the 1, but yeah, my opponent, no cavity space for them. So if I'm gaining 1 and they're gaining 0, I'm sort of okay with that, especially, as I say, knowing I've got this Eurasian Nuthatch in hand. Going to be able to get that down and start getting 2 eggs. And even better, we're going to be getting some free cards as well. So yeah, Wilson Snipe giving us a great one already. White-backed Woodpecker, potentially one we're going to look at playing. Of course, it's another cavity nest. It's another strong forest bird. Gaining more food, so you know, maybe I think traditionally in a forest engine, more food is not necessarily what you want. But white-backed Woodpecker is such a good bird, I think, especially on the Oceania boards now, where you can obviously get nectar through that sort of brown power, gaining extra food from the bird feeder. More nectar is just so strong. So as I say, definitely 1. I'll be looking at, and take a kingfisher. We're just going to get all the cavity nest birds coming through here. Again, another bird that ordinarily, if I wasn't in this position, I'd be very tempted to go and play that. Of course, the pink power, getting free food whenever your opponent gains food, as long as the right food is in the feeder. But yeah, I'm not sure. Even more food is what is needed here. So for now, at least, I think we're just going to go and grab some more food. I really want to benefit from this period where they don't have a cavity nest bird down, because they've just done their digging. I think they do still have at least some food in their supply. So from all those cards they would have seen, there's definitely a realistic chance that they would have found some kind of cavity nest bird that they could easily get down. Start benefiting from those free eggs from me. So yeah, as I say, I really want to be maximizing off these turns where I'm getting 2 eggs, because you know, there is a world in which maybe I don't play more cavity nest birds straight away. Maybe I'm not too keen on what I've got in my hand, or I don't find more digging from the deck. And in those cases, I don't want to have to be using the woodpecker and not gaining the full benefit of it, and of course giving them benefit as well. So yeah, something to be aware of, something to bear in mind. But as I say, hopefully once we've done a bit of digging, we can get some more lovely cavity nest birds down and start filling those up with eggs. And alright, on to our next turn here, and you'll see my opponent, they did indeed find something good to play, but no cavity nest birds. So Pay and White start perfectly good, opening forest bird, getting a bit more food with that brown power. But yeah, as I say, they're still not going to benefit from those eggs. So as much as I could just go and play the Ruddy Duck right now, with of course that food in my supply, as I say, I want to be getting as much benefit from this woodpecker as I can now, and hopefully getting some nectar, which we do indeed. So we get 1 and then immediately get another reroll here. So we are indeed going to go and grab that, and yeah, still get these eggs. So you'll see this is the point where we do start filling up on the woodpecker, and of course the nuthatch. Only 3 spaces for itself, so something we are going to have to monitor. But yeah, we do have some options. So like I say, the white-backed woodpecker might be something we play. I don't necessarily know how much extra food we're going to need. Of course, if I can find one of those lovely teal powered birds that lets you discard extra food and turn those into cards, then something like the white-backed woodpecker becomes a very, very appealing option. But yeah, I think for now, certainly what I'm thinking here is get this Ruddy Duck down and start drawing some cards. You know, I've been able to benefit a little bit off this Wilson Snipe, but mostly just taking my time, using the birds that I started with, not really rushing. I think there are definitely cases to be made in situations like this where when you've got good stuff, got good birds, you want to get them down and start using them, and not necessarily have to rely on digging from the deck. I think if you don't have good stuff, maybe like what my opponent found themselves in, just playing something like the Snipe or a Ruddy Duck and start digging through the deck, then you can hopefully get something that maybe gives you a bit of direction. So they finally get themselves a cavity nest, star nest in this case, but it's a game end power, so yeah, not the kind of bird you normally see rushed down quite so early on, but it is going to at least help them there with some more eggs. And speaking of more eggs, we're going to find California quail there. So yeah, a little bit of a big brain play, I want to say, maybe going drawing cards and actually throwing food to reset the tray. So I quite like doing that in this situation where I've got a lot of food, and yeah, can easily afford to get rid of some of that and just see more cards, because I think early on there's so much benefit to seeing additional cards, and of course if you can refresh the tray before you draw, you're seeing 3 more cards, and even if they're not good, you can start drawing from the deck and yeah, see yet more cards. So I really like this as an option early in the game. Once you've got your first wetland bird down, start throwing food. And yeah, food for me, like I say, not going to be a problem here. And being able to get the California quail and that crested pigeon as well, I should say, another game end power here, a very nice one that goes well with the forest engine, to be able to turn some extra seeds, which I'm sure I will have at the end of the game, and yeah, get those cashed and turned into points. So we are going to get this quail down, I think. Here we're going to rush it down. Of course, a little bit annoying that I did decide to use the seed in order to yeah, reset that tray. Maybe I could have used a fish or something, but you never quite know what bird you're going to get come up. But yeah, we're going to start using these nuthatch caches, just as I say, to help get the quail down first. Clears off the egg off the woodpecker, and I know it's going to get me another egg itself. So there are maybe going to be some considerations here where we're going to have to think a little bit about the egg space problems. As I say, we're kind of creating more problems for ourselves here already struggling a bit with the cavity nest, and now California quail is going to fill up a little bit. But yeah, opponent there, they managed to snipe the end of round. It's not really something I was looking at. I think there were some white power birds that came up, but not really ones that fitted in with my strategy or that were appealing options to play as big points. So I think in this position, I was quite happy to leave that. First end of round goal is normally one that I will just completely ignore if it helps me to set up my engine in a more efficient way. So we're going to draw cards. I saw some stuff I liked, and I'm seeing more stuff I like drawing from the deck as well. So yeah, North Island Brown Kiwi is going to be a nice one to play for the bonus card later. Picked up another Game End Power, and also Teal Power Carrion Crow. Did notice my opponent, they had started playing at least one Predator Power there, so you always know you're going to get some caches off that, and potentially, yeah, if they're going to play some more of those kind of birds, we could really benefit off that. So it just gives me an option, and at the very least, it blocks it from them from getting some strong synergies, perhaps, with their own boards. So we're going to get some more free cards here. We're going to get a really nice one. Greyhound Owl, exactly the kind of bird I'm looking for in the forest. And also in that tray there, Stubble Quail, and now Yellow-rubbed Warbler. It's all coming up for us here. We're getting some great options. So Sprague's Pipit as well for the bonus card. Many, many good options. So yeah, as I say, almost kind of sport for choice. Definitely glad I didn't play something like the Whiteback Woodpecker earlier, because honestly, I think when you're going Forest Engine, the spots are at a premium. I've almost got too many birds. I'd like to play all of them. I'd like to play this Great Horned Owl. For sure, big points, nice strong hunting power as well. But also, that Yellow-rumped Warbler, really, really strong bird here with that tucking power. Just means I'm going to have to draw cards less. My opponent's going to keep giving me free cards as well, as they do here. That's just going to give me more options for cycling. Tuck and draw, obviously you get a point for each tuck. And you can find good stuff, maybe pick some stuff up from the tray, or maybe just dig from the deck. Definitely nice options. And not even really talked about that Stubble Quail, but again, an excellent option to have here in the Forest Engine. So the power lets you discard a bunch of food, up to 6 from your supply, and turn them into eggs. So again, I'm always going to be looking for these kind of birds, whether it's the Wemblades, whether it's the game ends or the round ends. If I can get something that makes use of excess food, I think I'm always going to have that here. So yeah, this Forest Engine is really coming together very, very nicely. Synergizing well with this end of round goal as well, I should say. So birds in the forest, always nice when that comes up when you're going Forest Engine, because playing birds in this forest is exactly what I want to be doing, especially get everything down by the end of round 2, fill up this forest, put myself in a strong position, and yeah, hopefully win this end of round goal as well. So we are going to go ahead, take some food, hopefully get some nectar on the reroll, which we do indeed. That's going to help us out a lot. And yeah, almost kind of sport for choice here. What do I get rid of? I've got too many good options, and I am liking the look of that barn owl in the tray just as a bit more egg space. You know, we managed to clear some off just by playing some of those birds, so created a bit of space for Pileated Woodpecker to work with. But yeah, we are definitely going to need more cavity nest spaces than barn owl. I mean, it's got 4 of them. It's pretty nice power to have, and of course hits the bonus card. And maybe if we're going to go with this Carrion Crow and maybe get some more Predator powers down, could be a nice little synergy to have. So we do grab that. Abiath's Booby comes up, so again, another really, really nice bird. Couple of these kind of powers that let you potentially recycle some of your old bonus cards. We've already got the other one in the North Island Brown Kiwi, so this might be one of those games where we just try and get some bonus card birds down and see what we get, and try and score lots of points from that. But as I say, for now, it feels pretty straightforward in this game. We're just going to go for this Forest Engine. I think the Great Horned Owl is going to be the final piece of the puzzle here. So yeah, we're just going to have strong brown powers all round. I mean, it's potentially a 6-point forest if everything comes together there. And of course, all the food that we're gaining, and the card cycle through the Warbler as well. Very, very powerful. So we actually don't play the Horned Owl, which I was planning on doing. We go and draw food because Abiath's Booby is still there. So I've got to go and snag that. No brainer for me. Yeah, really, really nice power to have. And again, almost really too many good cards in hand. Definitely some difficult decisions are going to have to be made in this game at some point, because we've got too many birds and not enough time to play them in. Another great one comes like Roseate Spoonbill. So yeah, this is definitely one of those games where you wish you had no goal in round 1 just so you had some extra turns, because you've got so much stuff you want to play and not enough time to get it all down. So yeah, definitely, as I say, want to be trying to get the forest set up. Spoonbill does at least go there, so I'm not going to have the option of being tempted into taking it. But yeah, a couple more turns left. In this round, we get another nice Predator Power, to be honest, there in the Tawny Frogmouth, but yeah, nothing for me is going to come close to this Great Horned Owl. So big point bird, it's exactly what you want. High food cost, but I can just spend some nectar on that, and it's not a problem at all. And a really, really strong brown power, so the hunting power got a pretty good chance of success. I'm definitely going to hope for some more points from that later on. And I'm also sort of thinking ahead, because I have got this this yellow game end power as well that's going to get me some eggs on every bird with a platform nest, the little pied cormorant there. So if I can play more of these cavity nest birds, I'm looking, I've got quite a few in my hand that I'm potentially going to play. You know, even this kiwi, the pigeon, the Abiath booby as well. So lots of these kind of birds that I'm definitely thinking about trying to get down. But yeah, a little bit of reconsideration there. As I say, just thinking about the carrion crow, how important is it maybe to try and get that down? But yeah, Great Horned Owl, as I say. Got to go down here. There is potentially a risk if I don't play that. You know, my opponent, they could be doing a double or even a triple play in the forest. They've done a lot of digging, not really too sure what they found. But it's always good, I think, to be kind of aware of that possibility that might happen. And yeah, as I say, Great Horned Owl, got to go down. But just trying to work out here what the game plan is for the rest of this game, because the engine is done, the engine's set up. So now it's all going to be about using that and then using the food to play some lovely big point birds. So as I say, we've got those bonus card birds, got that pigeon, the other yellow game end powers we want to get down. This barn owl as well for a bit of egg space. So going into round 3, as I say, always nice to have your engine already set up, and then we're going to be wanting to think about what we're going to play. So there's the double play. As I say, always got to be kind of ready and prepared for that. And we're going to go ahead and play the Sprague's Pipit. So a bit of an unusual choice, and the reason I'm playing this early is because I want to see the bonus card. So I know if I need to get rid of it with, for example, the kiwi or the booby, give yourself a bit more time. We do, very fortunately there though, get a very nice one here, Platform Builder. Already has some good synergy with what we're trying to do. So again, always good to have good synergy with your bonus cards. Nest Box Builder synergized really well with the Pileated Woodpecker and this Forest Engine. And now this Platform Builder is going to synergize really well with the Little Pied Cormorant if we're already going to want to be playing loads of those birds to get benefit off that yellow game end power. Then yeah, we're going to be getting even more points off this bonus card. So speaking of bonus cards, I'm just going to go ahead and grab Red Knot. Pretty much a no-brainer for me there. Very, very nice bird. And again, one that works really well with the booby, with the kiwi. You're only drawing one bonus card, but if you can discard that or recycle it, turn it into some other better bonus cards, that's certainly not a bad idea. And yeah, 7 points gets me another card as well. Yeah, like I say, pretty much a no-brainer. But I think first priority is going to be this barn owl. We are starting to run out, you'll see, on the cavity nest space. So definitely want to be benefiting from that and getting those 2 eggs each time. And yeah, once the barn owl's down, that should definitely help us out a little bit as well. So plenty of food to work with. You'll see we're managing to grab nectar whenever we can. I am starting to think ahead at this point, even at this point of the game. You know, you might still think this is sort of quite early in the game, but we're definitely coming towards the business end of things. And I want to make sure I've got seeds in my supply to really make benefit from the crested pigeon at the end of the game. So yeah, if I'm going to see seeds, I'm going to try and grab them when I can. But obviously bearing in mind, of course, nectar's going to be the priority. Any other random food can get turned into an egg with the stubble quail if I want to play that later. But yeah, we are going to need some specific food, of course, for some birds like the red knot. Maybe trying to find 3 worms ordinarily. Can be a little bit tricky if you're trying to prioritize nectar and seeds as well. But yeah, all things considered, I think this game's going pretty well. We've definitely got a clear plan. You definitely find yourself sometimes, even with these killer setups, you kind of come into the mid to late game and you start to really worry what you're going to do for the rest of the game. You're sort of still trying to dig for those big point birds, find the bonus card birds, plan out your final round or your final few turns can be difficult if you don't have any clear direction. But as I say, for here for me, it's definitely nice to have that direction early. And again, almost too many things to choose from, almost too many good birds, kind of blessed for choice, sport for choice here. But yeah, it's, as I say, for now, just going to be about trying to play some of these birds, trying to run this engine. So Barn Owl is down. That's definitely going to help out. And then try and put off the difficult decisions. So there's definitely going to be some birds I know I'm going to want to play. The pigeon, the cormorant, those have got to go down. Still got the booby, still got this kiwi, still got this carrion crow. It's definitely getting to the point now for me where I think, okay, maybe it's too late to be using that if we're not going to get loads more caches. But, you know, potentially with this end of round goal, and again, the bonus card and the free eggs from the game end power might be something for us to consider. So, yeah, my opponent there, you know, got a decent setup. They've gone with the ibis. They've got a strong forest, so that, you know, we're going to see them taking lots of food as well. They're going to be trying to grab as much nectar as they can. So there is definitely going to be a bit of a fight for that. But yeah, as I say, if I see nectar, I'm going to grab it. Get myself some worms as well. So potentially red knot is going to be able to get used here. And yeah, this is the point where the carrion crow has to go. So as I say, you know, I've always got to tuck something. And yeah, it just felt like at this point, maybe a little bit too late. Only 2 more rounds to be benefiting off that. I've only played 2 Predator Powers. Probably not going to play anymore. My opponent's only played 1. They're probably not going to play anymore. So yeah, just in terms of the amount of points I could expect to get off something like the carrion crow, definitely not the greatest. But yeah, this forest engine's running really, really well. So as I said, when everything hits, when that horned owl is going to work on its hunt, and when we're going to be able to get 2 eggs off the woodpecker, it is a 6-point engine. Of course, bearing in mind 1 egg to my opponent with that as well, but 6 points while gaining all that food. And as I say, being able to recycle some of these cards in my hand and hopefully turn them into better stuff is definitely a very, very satisfying position to be in. So Burrowing Owl goes down for them. They're going to get another bird for this end of round and some more space to benefit off these free eggs coming through from the Pileated Woodpecker. And yeah, I think we're going to play the red knot here. So definitely what I'm thinking is sort of hoping almost that I can get a bad bonus card from this and then use the kiwi on my next turn, because what I want to do is I just want to qualify for this end of round goal with the star nest. So we are going to draw a bonus card. It's actually Viticulturist, which is not too bad. 3 points there is a pretty decent one. Draw some cards, not get any great stuff, but again, when you've got Warbler, you can always tuck and draw and recycle that. But yeah, definitely what I want to be doing here is not laying eggs. So I want to play the kiwi with the star nest. I can use the Pileated Woodpecker to lay an egg on that and qualify for the end of round. This is definitely a position where my opponent is stronger. In that respect, they're going to win this end of round. So I don't want to have to lay eggs just to qualify for it. If I can qualify for it whilst doing my usual turn, doing my most efficient turn, which is taking food, I want to be doing that. So yeah, we are most likely, I think, going to be looking at playing the kiwi here. Yeah, normally when you play kiwi, you kind of want to have a terrible bonus card. So you want to look for Visionary Leader. You want something like Bird Feeder ordinarily as well. Even sometimes Oologist, I think, in Oceania games can get discarded because it can be quite difficult to hit. But yeah, I think even in this position, I think discarding the 3 points off Viticulturist is going to be worth it just to be able to then look at 4 more bonus cards. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at 4 bonus cards, and we're going to be, I want to say, disappointed. I was definitely hoping for better. I mean, looking at it on the surface, it's 4 blanks. Of course, we can make these work. So between Prairie Manager, you know, we've got the pigeon, we've got the quail, with Wetland Scientist, we've got the booby, we've got the cormorant. I think these are probably all birds we're going to play, and at the very least, we're going to play some of them. So yeah, Bird Bander, we're close. I'm not really expecting to play anything more from my hand that hits that. So I'd say a little bit disappointing. I've had some really good experience with the kiwi where you get rid of a 0-point bonus card and you draw 2 6s, or you draw, you know, a 7 and an 8, and you're feeling really good because you just maximized off that bonus card. So yeah, not quite what I was hoping for, but as I say, definitely feeling good about how this game is going. Definitely feeling positive about the end game as well. You know, we're coming here into this final round, and I feel like I've got some clear direction. So I've got these birds I want to be playing. I want to be taking food, trying to grab more seeds. I've already got a couple, but bird feeder not massively cooperating in that respect. But yeah, I think the egg space is being managed well. So the barn owl's helping out a lot. California quail, it's starting to get full, but with only 6 turns left, that definitely feels like it's less likely to be a problem here than it did feel like earlier. So opponent's still playing big point birds, blue throat going down very, very nice for them. We're just going to take food and we're going to get loads of nectar, but I want the seeds here. Of course, last turn of the round, we're not going to be able to keep that nectar. So great horned owl hits, we're going to get the tuck and the draw. Not too bothered by what we're finding because it's all about the points here at this point. As I say, already happy with what I'm going to be playing in the final round. It would take something amazing to come up. We're talking Atlantic puffin sort of territory to make me reconsider the plan. But yeah, like I say, it's just all about working out the right sequence, the right order, and doing a bit of calculating because we've got these bonus cards that play, as I say. Platform Builder have actually still not even hit the lower bound. So with these lovely birds in my hands, we've got the booby, of course, cormorant and pigeon, those all hit that. So those are definitely going to be on my priority, but maybe we want to play the booby first. Maybe we're going to have to discard one of these bonus cards. Maybe we're going to draw something else that gives me more options to consider. So yeah, as much of a strong end game as it feels like this is going to be, it's definitely going to be a tricky one in terms of decision making because yeah, there's lots at play here, lots of different factors to consider, lots of things to take into account. Might have to look at playing some additional birds with the end of round goal in play as well. But yeah, opponent wins that end of round goal very easily. They gave me a free seed with the blue throat, so definitely something to consider here. I think the pigeon is something they know I drew. Entirely possible they forgot about it, but maybe just by not playing that, I could sort of trick them into giving me free seeds because I think if they saw that down, there's no way they give out seeds when it's basically a guaranteed point each time. So yeah, definitely something for me to consider. But yeah, we come here into the final round and 5 turns, and as I said, I think the plan here is going to be to play 3 birds and use those additional 2 turns gaining food. So there's a bit of calculating, there's a bit of counting to do. Just in terms of the amount of food, I'm looking at the nectar as well. So nectar's not normally something I pay too much attention to until we get into this late game. I think it's quite difficult to worry about that whilst setting up your engine, but yeah, we are quite close in all these habitats. So we're winning the forest, but we can't do anything more about that, unfortunately. No more spots to play birds. I'm currently losing in the grasses and the wetlands, but we're only 1 away in each of those. So yeah, if we can get some good rerolls, if we can get hold of lots of nectar, we're definitely going to be want to play some birds in both of those habitats. And yeah, when you can do that and when you can get a swing on the nectar, take yourself from losing to winning, that is 6 extra points. You take 3 points off your opponent and gain 3 for yourself. So sometimes it's worth playing some crappy bird that isn't going to score you lots of points purely because you are going to then go and win the nectar race. So yeah, we just grab all the nectar we can. Even though there's some seeds there, I'm kind of thinking I can grab those on a later turn, and I've already got 6, to be honest, in my supply at this point. So yeah, definitely feeling like this is going to be the plan. Just trying to work out what to play first is kind of the tricky thing. So like I said, probably hold off on the pigeon. I think I want to be playing this Abiath booby first. See the bonus card. That might swing my decision making. Maybe playing one of these other birds like the quail, for example, is going to qualify me for a bonus card I would have otherwise missed. So yeah, there's going to be factors at play here, and I want to try and squeeze every last point I can out of this game and out of this setup, because I think it's not often that you get really strong forest engines coming up like this, and not even using our old friend in the tray there, the wood duck. So yeah, I do get people asking me all the time, it's easy to set up a good engine with the wood duck. How do you do a strong forest engine without the wood duck? I think this is pretty much as good as it gets. So yeah, Abiath's booby is going to go down. Of course, this time we don't have to discard. We get to draw the bonus cards first, and we're going to draw some pretty nice ones. Well, one pretty nice one at least. Maxed out mechanical engineer, always like to see that. And yeah, the other 2, not really a factor here. Behaviorist and citizen scientist both on 0. There's potentially something we could do here with behaviorist, maybe in that 4th column, but I don't think it's worth it just for 3 points, given that every other bonus card we've already got is going to score at least 3. So Yeah, definitely nice. I mean, Abiath's Booby normally quite good, as I say, like with the Kiwi for maybe turning a 0-point bonus card into something better. But when you think about it, I just played Abiath's Booby and drew an 8-point bonus card, and yeah, doesn't really get too much better than that. Don't have to do any more work to try and max that one out. So yeah, probably straightforward here, just to try and get more of these birds down. So we're going to keep getting a bit more free food, and yeah, worms this time, maybe not quite so useful, but it might help because we might need to do a bit of forcing here if we are indeed going to try and get everything down. So yeah, got this pigeon, still got this cormorant as well. Got to really play both of them, to be honest. So got prey manager at play, we've got the bonus card as well, platform builder at play to try and max out. So yeah, I think this is time for the pigeon to go down, and this is where, as I say, paying attention on the nectar is definitely key. So we're currently behind in the grassless nectar. If I play the pigeon, I get tie there on the grassless nectar, so that's worth an extra few points. And yeah, as I say, with all these additional caches we're going to be getting at the game end, that is going to be super satisfying as well. So yeah, we're going to get that down, and then 2 turns left here, so definitely one of them is going to be playing this other game end power. So this cormorant, we're going to get that down. That's going to get us plenty of eggs, and of course help with the bonus card. But we do still have 1 extra turn, and it's going to be difficult. I don't think when I was playing this, it certainly wasn't obvious to me right off the bat what the best play was going to be with that last turn, because we've got options. We could just lay eggs. It's a bit boring. We might have to play another bird. We just have this double quail and a bit of extra food, so that could be an option. We might just take food, because as I say, it's still that 6-point engine. If the Great Horned Owl is going to hit, got plenty of egg space to work with. So if it helps get us a couple more seeds on the pigeon, that might be an option. But yeah, I think in this position, always do your best plays first, and then give yourself time to calculate and maybe react a little bit. As I say, if this end of round swings a little bit, maybe I need to play another bird. But yeah, definitely get the good stuff down. So pigeon goes down, cormorant goes down. We've got our yellow powers in. I know those are going to score lots of points. Do have to be wary, of course, with something like this kiwi, only 1 egg space. So make sure with yeah, being able to benefit off that cormorant power, you've got space there. And if we do choose to take food, we have got space elsewhere to benefit off that. So opponent lays eggs. They've not done any sort of fancy double play, so we are safe in the end of round goal, and we can just take our time and fully assess the options. So I know with my 6 seeds, they're going to turn into points on the pigeon. So what else could I do? Well, I can, of course, go and play this double quail. That's going to get me some points. I've got this 2 extra food, turn those into eggs, 4-point play. Not great. Could lay eggs, discard food, get my 4 eggs, still 4-point play. Not great. Taking food here is going to be better for me because, as I say, it's got that 6-point engine, as long as the horned owl hits, which it does. Not really too bothered. We're going to take the wood duck just because it's fun to have that set in your hand at the end of a very successful forest engine game. And we got the 2 seeds as well. So yeah, 6 points, of course, gave 1 to my opponent, so 5-point turn. And a couple of seeds, so 7 points from that final turn. And hopefully, hopefully it doesn't come down to a food tiebreaker, but if it does, I think we're in a pretty strong position there. So win the end of round goal, very nice. Got lots of birds down, and yeah, comes to these yellow game end powers. So cormorant, talked about it loads, really good synergy there with the bonus card, getting those 6 eggs, and pigeon with the 8 caches, so 14 points from the game end powers. Very nice for me, but likewise could be very nice for my opponent here. So they've got a couple of yellow powers for themselves. Goldfinch going to let them play another bird, and yeah, that fairy wren, similar to the cormorant but with star nest, so they're going to get some extra eggs as well, which of course is going to help them score some points. So we'll see what they can do. But as I say, definitely felt like a strong game for me. Lots of strong turns, lots of high point turns. I think we did pretty well in the nectar as well, so we did hold on in the forest. I think we got a tie here in the grasslands, and yeah, just courtesy of playing some of those bonus card birds in the wetlands, did get the win there as well. So strong performance all round, and we come here into this course to see just how strong it is. So yeah, I know we got plenty of big point birds down, but I think my opponent did as well, so it is quite close there. But bonus cards, that was our real strength, so those are going to count up in 25. Really, really nice. End of round goals, bit of a mixed bag. Eggs, we had loads, courtesy of the quail and the Pileated Woodpecker, but it's looking pretty tight here until we get to those cash food. 15, very, very nice. Tuck cards as well, strong for us on 12. We win the nectar, and it is a strong win as well overall. 150 points. That might just be my highest score, certainly at least one of the highest scores I've ever got in a 1v1 game. And no birds like the ravens, no Franklin's Gold, no wood duck as well to score 150 here. I felt very, very happy with how this game went. So yeah, my opponent, not the greatest bonus card to start with, but they drew some pretty good ones, so scored respectively there. And yeah, pretty solid board all round, got to be said. I mean, they still scored over 100. Definitely benefited from the woodpecker eggs once they were able to get the cavity nesting bird down. But yeah, I was just really happy with how this engine came together. Started off well, drew some really nice birds, drew some nice bonus cards, and this is the kind of score that can result from that. So there we go, it is a win in this best of 3, and we are through into round 3 of the Zany Zebrafish Zoo. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this forest engine demonstration, and if you want to see more videos, especially from this tournament, please do hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in another game very, very soon.